starting line and rumble, shuddering with the enormous energy of 4, 5, sometimes even 6 engines about to engage 8,000 horsepower down a dirt track. So clean and shiny and overwhelming. So difficult to imagine these should be plowing the back 40 if their name is to be taken literally. For as long as there have been record keepers, give a man a chore to do, he'll make a sport of it. Imagine then putting an engine on your plow and the fun you could have with your neighbor. The first recorded tractor pull was in Bowling Green, Missouri in 1929. They loaded a flat sled with boulders and sometimes men, lots of men, until the wheels spun and the event was over, and they returned to their field. 60 years later, today's tractors compared to those the way a thoroughbred compares to a plow horse. But that's the sport's ancestry. The whole sport itself has evolved. Even the sled has gone high-tech. Now there's a skid plate right behind the tractor and a set of wheels in back. As the sled is pulled down the track, a box full of weight is mechanically moved toward the skid plate. And the closer it gets, the more the plate digs into the ground, creating tons of drag. With all that understood, the tractor that can drag the sled the farthest wins. Something Tim Engler and his Mission Impossible team does regularly. He's seen the sport change dramatically in his 15 years.
If somebody would have told us back then you'd have 5 or 6 motors on a tractor and somewhere around 8,000 horsepower, they'd said you're crazy. Well, I guess we are crazy, but it happened.
Just as he uses his successful tool and die business to finance his tractor pulling, so did he mow extra lawns as a youngster to buy a better motor for his go-kart he raced back then.
It seemed like I was always involved in a sport I couldn't afford, such as it is today.
As far as his expensive adult sport has come, it has many miles to go. Tim Engler is its superstar, yet he doesn't have a single paying sponsor.
We tried getting plugs and nobody gave them to us.
And what about all that prize money? A possible $950 per event. Ask the Mission Impossible bookkeeper if this sport pays.
Somebody tells you out there they're making money tractor pulling, they're lying to you. I know what we made last year, what we took in. If you break even in tractor pulling, you have really done something. I mean, if we didn't do all our own work, there's no way that we could do this. The guys build all our own motors. We do our own chassis work. I mean, we do just about everything that can be done in that motor ourselves. And that saves us a lot of money. And I'd say we do it for the love of the sport, not for the dollar.
Very often, the sport and its payoff are controlled by God above. For all of the high-tech wizardry riding in this costly tractor trailer 47 weekends a year, a couple of raindrops can send it home penniless. Tim, Tammy, and Billy drove 16 hours overnight to Ocala, Florida in order to make the next event.
Boy, it's a mess, I'm here to tell you.
Rain washed out Friday and Saturday night's competition. The Engler team used the time to solve an oil leak on a new engine they plan to use on the one-shot on Sunday. Their work, considered genius by those they thrash each weekend, drew admirers.
What kind of filter deal's that? They call it, take that off and there's a screen in there you can check it out.
The Banner brothers, also of Indiana, are the main competition. Dave Banner's been pulling in Ocala for years, unlike Tim Engler.
So this is a little new dirt for him. It's, he's going to have his hands full working on this track, I really feel like. I think I might have a little edge on him.